Welcome to the MBG Podcast. Let's fire everybody.
All right, welcome everybody to episode number 116, the Message Board Geniuses podcast. This is Who's. I got Casey, Courtney, and MBG having a slight panic attack because we thought Casey just doxed all of us a second ago. So
we're good.
This would be a live show for us if we didn't have something go a little off kilter in the beginning. All right, let me get my breathing back down. So anyway.
It worked so well. Look, I got it off without a hitch.
Yeah, it's working.
Yeah, we're good. All right, so we're officially in a little bit of a dead period with sports right now. I've only got baseball, a little WNBA going on until the fall. But the good news is only 59 days away from college football season. So to help bridge that gap, we thought we'd start things off tonight by talking about things that we're looking most forward to this college football season. But we didn't discuss any of these ahead of time, so hopefully we don't have any overlap. Does anybody want to kick it off?
Yeah, don't all speak at once. I'll start. I think I'm really most looking forward to preseason polls. I love them. I love them.
You're nothing if not consistent on this show, Casey.
That's the only thing I can remember that I don't like. So,
didn't we have a show where we were picking games or something, and you picked one way one week and then the different way the next week or something like that?
Yeah. It was Florida State, I think.
That's right. That's it.
Casey likes to ride both sides of the fence.
Right, exactly.
Well, that way I'm never wrong.
Or always wrong.
Well,
One or the other.
Tomato.
I have a few things that I'm looking forward to. I thought Casey would say this. The first one I'm looking forward to is that week 1, Clemson, LSU, and Texas, Ohio State.
Texas, Ohio State's going to be good.
That's such a good way to kick off the football season.
Did we ever find out what time that was? Was that like a noon game?
I heard something about that being the early game at noon.
Me too. It is.
I'm not positive. It should have been Clemson LSU though, right, Casey?
Yeah.
Oh, for game day, I mean. Yeah.
I think so, absolutely. Talk about consistency. Here you go. I do remember the fact that I picked College Game Day as my Genius of the Week 2 weeks ago for that very reason. There's no like you have the two knowns. You have Cade Klubnik and Garrett Nussmeier, the two number 1 and 2 preseason quarterbacks of the year. And they're going to go see, I don't know, who knows, some guy named Arch versus some other dude, 5-star probably from Ohio State. Doesn't make sense.
The other things that I wrote down that I was excited for was, one, I'm excited to see, not that Colorado was great with Shedeur, but I'm excited to see what happens to Colorado without Shedeur.
Well, their recruiting seems to be going really well right now, right? Haven't their boards been melting down about that?
Yeah, things don't seem to be going great so far. Yeah. That's why I'm excited. That's what I'm excited to see. The other one I'm excited about is USC. I know last year in the preseason, I think I picked USC to go to the playoffs, which was wrong. But I'm excited to see if Lincoln Riley fixed things on the defensive side of the ball this year. So I'm excited to see what USC does.
Yeah, they've recruited pretty well so far, it feels like.
Right.
It feels like at least they're trending in the right direction.
And no, that doesn't mean that I'm a USC fan. I just am excited to see what they do.
Well, that's one of the schools you get accused of being a fan of because you're rusty.
Right. And I'm not helping matters. I understand that by saying I'm excited to see them.
Right. All right. So,
go ahead, Courtney. I'm really excited to see that quarterback from FSU not be stopped by Alabama. That's what I'm looking most forward to.
I think we might be getting to him in a little while.
Love that.
Yeah, I'm thinking we might address that.
I got some thoughts.
Might have some thoughts.
He's out a little over his skis right now, I feel like.
I like the confidence.
Yeah. I don't know that Florida State really needs more of a target on their back after last year, but whatever. Here we are.
DJU ×2. Come on, boys.
That's right.
I love
That's
it.
right. So, I mean, one of mine is self-serving. I'm interested to see how we do this year, only because we've put a lot of money into our roster for once, and we have what has to be the easiest schedule among any of the power conference teams. Like we've got Coastal Carolina, William and Mary. I'm trying to remember who else. We have another, Washington State, I think. We play out of conference. We got Florida State at home, Virginia Tech at home, which, might still be a loss, but at least we got a better chance at home. So, I think the over-under on us has moved from 5.5 to 6.5, and that is outrageously high compared to the last couple of years. So that's one thing I'm personally interested in. But the other one for me is how things play out at UNC with Bill Belichick. I mean, just from a football standpoint, I think it's going to be fascinating to see how his pro experience translates to the college game. But I mean, aside from that, the Jordan Hudson drama is just going to be awesome. Because I haven't heard that much about it lately, so I just did a search today. But literally today, Radar Online published an article talking about how Belichick's pals, which I don't know if you can be in your 70s and have pals anymore. That was kind of a weird word choice, but they want to, quote, deprogram him from being love drunk and refer to him as a love drunk grandpa. Entertainment Tonight had a story about his emails. And then Us Weekly did a story about Jordan Hudson's hottest swimsuit moments. So I feel like it's just going to be a shit show the whole year. And I'm just totally here for it. I think it's going to be super fun.
It is. It's going to be something. I mean, you think we see Taylor Swift at Chiefs games? They're going to be showing that whatever her name is. Jordan Hudson? Is that her name?
Yeah, I think that's right? I hope I didn't botch that.
No, right.
But I mean, look, if we want to be one of the big boys, Casey, we've got to learn how to have. Yeah, sorry, great day, Tar Heel. That wasn't directed at you. I love you, but it's still going to be fun. We need some drama like the SEC has, right? So if we have to get a pro football coach to come in and create it, I'll take it. That's what we need 100%. To be one of the big boys. Yeah.
Yeah. He did that interview for whoever was on ACC Network with Dabo. I mean, you'll take it. Obviously, Dabo's trying to hold on to his coat strings or whatever that phrase is. Coattails. What's that phrase?
I have no idea.
Did you say DuckTales? Is that what you say?
Coach strings, I think.
Coach strings.
Oh, yes.
Bootstraps. Boot, scoot, and boogie. I don't know. Hey, just for the record, I'm not the brightest one on this show.
That UNC schedule, I was just looking at it. It's pretty light. I mean, outside of Clemson, I mean, there's a lot of winnable games on that schedule. So
yeah, they could be. They've recruited pretty well. I mean, they haven't gotten a huge bump over what they usually do under Mac, but. I mean, I think it's going to be super interesting just because, Belichick brought over the whole staff. And, it seems pretty clear that he's trying to tee it up for to transition to his son at some point. But it's a lot of football experience. So they could be sneaky good. Who the hell knows?
I couldn't tell you who their quarterback is. He's back,
I haven't paid enough attention.
Whoever he is, he's back.
All right. Anything else? Are we good?
Yeah. Go Tigers.
Yeah.
Max Johnson from LSU.
Oh, the greatest quarterback name in the country. I don't know how we forgot that.
Yeah, I'm not in the mode of research yet.
Yeah, I'm not either. Speaking of not being in the mode for research, we thought we would do another draft this week. This one's going to be interesting. So a couple weeks ago, we did a 4-round draft of our favorite college towns, and Courtney's selection of Tuscaloosa, Austin, Baton Rouge, and Gainesville won with 47% of the vote. I feel like SEC voters were very active in this poll.
They should have been.
Yeah.
Because, I mean,
I was right.
Casey somehow picked Creighton, Nebraska, and Princeton, New Jersey. And just because he had Athens, he came in second. So I feel like the
I
fix
used
was
some
in.
resources.
Yeah, and I came in last with no SEC town. So I know better next time. All right, so since we're in summer mode, we thought this week we'd do a draft of our favorite vacation spots. And this is one I have no idea how this is going to go.
Whose idea
hopefully
was
not-
this, by the way?
This is Courtney. But
I don't know.
I'm just
Who's that? Who's that?
I'm hoping none of you pick one of the 5 I wrote down, or I'm going to be scrambling a little bit here.
I have 5,
right,
and
so
I
You
don't think
not like to vacation?
he hates summer, but he loves
yeah.
ski.
Yeah, I'm not a big vacation guy. I'm kind of lazy. And MBG hates it because he hates everything. So
This is a great draft topic, is what you're saying.
I love to vacation.
I'm guessing there's not going to be a lot of overlap here, I guess.
Well, there's
We will
one
see.
MBG you may pick mine, but that's it.
I don't know. We'll
Courtney,
see.
you're in luck that you like to vacation because you got the first pick.
Mm.
So MBG, you are pick number 2. Casey, you're pick number 3, and then I've got the wraparound pick. So, Courtney, we'll kick things off.
Yeah. So I'm going to kick things off with, I don't know. It's so much pressure having the number 1 pick. I'm going to go with my dream vacation for number 1. My number 1 spot that I want to go to. And it's
This
the Maldives.
build-up is killing me. Where is it?
The Maldives.
Is that
An
Ohio?
over the water bungalow in the Maldives.
Where?
What continent is that on?
I have no idea.
Does it matter? Does it matter?
You
It's
can't pick a
beautiful.
place if you can't name the continent.
It's beautiful.
It sounds made up though. Like, where is it?
You have Google.
I think it's just south of Oklahoma, but I'm not sure.
Well, safe to say that wasn't on my list because I don't know where it is.
It's like
Is it-
below India.
Oh, okay.
John
Is
Tweet
it like-
Sports says, I think the Maldives are an apartment complex in Bay Minette.
I'm texting John
yeah.
right now, and I'm gonna call him a bitch.
Great Day Tar Heel says she's out here picking somewhere in Narnia. Oh,
You
that was
bunch
brilliant.
of uncultured bitches.
Well, Jerry bailed you out and told us exactly where it was in Indian Ocean, which I don't know if that's right. It probably is, though.
That sounds right.
I'm having trouble. I feel like if we're going to pick our favorite vacation spots, we have to have been there, right? Or no?
Oh, I went in a different direction actually.
I mean,
Okay.
I've seen some lists on Twitter that do
To
like
each their
rate
own.
their best bathrooms, and I'm sure that people haven't seen that before.
Oh God. I didn't think that this segment was going to make me cry laugh, but it is.
All right, we're off to a roaring start here, MBG. I'm assuming you get your number 1 pick here.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure how this is going to sound or how it's going to go, but I only picked places where I had been. So my favorite one, so my number 1 is Croatia. We stayed in a town called Rovinj, Croatia, on the coast of the Adriatic. Fantastic. Favorite spot. Clean, nice, fantastic. I'll take
That
that.
was the Diet Coke there.
Okay.
Well, see, that's the one problem with Europe. They don't really have a lot of Diet Coke. You mostly get stuck with like Coke Zero, which sucks, but whatever. and no ice.
Didn't
whatever.
you look at them and say, "What am I, a lady?" when they tried to serve?
Yeah, that made the week a little tough, but I survived. It was good. It was good.
That's awesome. All right, Casey.
My first one, I'm going with Pawleys Island, South Carolina. Right south of Myrtle Beach. I know Great Day Tar Heel said Dirty Myrtle. No one goes to Dirty Myrtle unless you live in Ohio. Pawleys Island. It's a great spot.
Sure, we used to go at the end of the school year in college. We went down to Myrtle.
Of course you did.
Because you could get into Crazy Zach's with literally anything with your face on it. It didn't even have to actually have a birthday on it. Yeah, buddy of mine.
The TSA put something out, say you can't use your Waffle House card or something, but you probably could at Dirty Myrtle.
I'm pretty sure I talked about this on this show before, but one of my best friends took his UVA ID and changed his name to MC Hammer on it just to see if he could still get in the Crazy Zach with it, and it totally worked. So they literally and this was at peak MC Hammer popularity, by the way. All right, so I got two choices here. First one, actually, I haven't been to either one of these, but I'll tell you why I'm picking them. First one is fancy. So I'm picking Athens, Greece. And the reason is my daughter has been super into like Greek history and Greek mythology ever since she's like 5. Like she just knows like everything about it. So it'd be cool to take her there, and did a little research. I think it would be cool to visit the homeland of great minds like Aristotle, Alexander the Great, and Motley Crue drummer Tommy Lee, who is from Athens, Greece. So that would be one. And then my second one is I'll do one for my son. So because otherwise I look like a terrible parent. So my kids are almost 15. My son basically has 3 things that he talks to me about. It's either football, video games, or fishing. There's literally the 3 topics we talk about. He loves to bass fish. So I did a little research. I would take him down to lovely Lake Okeechobee, Florida, because apparently the bass fishing down there is phenomenal. And I can't think of a classier place to go. So that's my first 2 choices.
Okeechobee?
Yeah.
Yeah, like Okeechobee. Yeah.
Okeechobee.
Between you and your son will have more teeth combined than anybody that lives around Lake Okeechobee.
Yeah, so Athens and Lake Okeechobee. Those are my 2. All right, Casey.
John Tweet Sports said the whole Maldives and Pawleys Island, South Carolina in the same round. He could have added Athens, Greece as well. I truly thought you were going to say Athens, Georgia for a second because you couldn't get it last week, but you didn't. So my number 2, what is it? Dream Vacations. What are we doing? What's the topic?
I apparently it's just we're naming random places is what this is turning into.
What do you think are the best vacation spots?
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna get a little personal here. Stone Harbor, New Jersey, which is where my family has vacationed for my entire life.
Oh,
there's no fist pumping there, which is a little not good, but it's a little more Philly, where Philly goes to vacation rather than Jersey. You know,
much more sophisticated.
Yeah, they say wooder.
Sounds kind of fancy, Casey.
It's a little fancy, yeah. They got mini golf on like rooftop mini golf. It's pretty sweet.
Nice.
Yeah, sounds riveting.
I'm probably the only one who's fully enjoying how awkward this segment is, by the way.
I literally just spit my water all over my computer.
I love stuff like this.
Hell yeah.
All right, MVG.
All right. So my second favorite vacation spot that I've been to is in Florence, Italy. One of my favorite towns I've been to. It was great. I loved it. I'll rank it number 2. I don't have much more else to say about it, other than it was fun. That's it.
Damn.
That's all I got.
You know what I want is I really want MBG doing like advertisements for different vacation spots. It was fun. It was nice. It was clean. They had Diet Coke. That's
Loved it.
not even loved it. Just, it was good. Had a good time.
2 out of 5. It was okay.
All right, Courtney. You got 2 here.
Okay, so I am going to go. My next 2 are going to be places that I've been. My second one is going to be Key West because I did that during like the height of COVID, 2020. And it was by far the most chill vacation I've ever been on. It was stress-free. I didn't when you get home from vacation, you're like, shit, I just need a day to rest before I go back to my real life. Did not feel that way at all. It was fantastic. And then the next one is going to be the total opposite of that. Feels like I need a week to recover. And that's going to be Vegas.
Ugh, gross.
I have so much fun in Vegas. I love to eat in Vegas. I'm not really even a big gambler. Like I can sit down at a slot machine, get a free drink and then go to another one, get another free drink. And then I'm done. Like I just want to go eat and people watch. And
getting a free drink at slot machines is a lot of work though.
It's not though. And if you go to the Cosmopolitan, they have high noons, which is fantastic.
Boom.
That's probably my favorite place. I want to stay there next. We stayed at the Wynn last time and it was really nice.
That's bougie.
It is bougie, but I want to stay at the Cosmopolitan. That's real bougie too.
Yeah,
It is.
nice.
It's really purpley and white.
For someone with poor impulse control, I love Vegas, but it's not the most healthy place for me to go.
It's not.
So yeah,
What's your definition of
I'm
healthy?
easily influenced to do lots of things, and
Especially when you have like a little person half naked right in front of you on stage. It's just things get kind of weird.
I was just waiting.
Things.
I was just waiting to see where that was going. I forgot about and I've always wanted to go to Key West. That's one of the few places I've actively wanted to go to that I haven't visited yet. So I think that sounds awesome. All right, MBG.
All right, I'm gonna take a bit of a left turn here. I had Croatia and then Florence, Italy. My next one is Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Any of you guys been to Jackson Hole, Wyoming?
Oh yeah, I love it there.
Nope.
Fantastic.
My
I love
parents
it.
have.
They do live gun shows in the streets.
I'm not rich.
You can go ride
they do those in
river. Fair. Less risky, I suppose.
Right.
But Jackson Hole is one of my favorite. Lots to do there. Nice and cool at night. Loved it. So that's number 3 for me.
Nice. All right, Casey.
Oh, my turn. So I have Pawleys Island and Stone Harbor. I'm going to go with Muncie, Indiana.
Oh, I hear it's lovely.
Yeah, I haven't been, but my friend Fast Chad vacations there all the time and sends me pictures. He says the mimosa is delicious.
All right.
That's
I probably
So-
just won again with that one.
Right. So I actually have to go to my 5th choice, MBG, because one of mine was Florence. That's where I don't like to brag, but my wife and I got married at the same hotel as Melissa Joan Hart in Florence, Sabrina the Teenage Witch. So, we're basically famous. And then also we got married. My best man was this guy named Luigi. He was also the video guy. He didn't speak any English, so it'd be fun to go back and, look him up, see how he's doing. But I can't pick that. So I'm going to go with Toronto just to make fun of myself. So this is years ago when our kids were little. We were sitting around one night and my wife asked, if you could go anywhere in the world, where would you go? And I think my daughter said like Egypt, and my son said, I can't remember what he said, but something like really far away. And I had just been in Buffalo. I have a client up there. And so I said, Toronto, because when I was up there, I thought it would be cool to go over the border and see Toronto. And the look of disappointment on my wife's face when I said that was just embarrassing. So I still get mocked for that shit to this day. And then I get one more pick. So I was only going to do 4 because I didn't think they'd get picked, but I just wrote down Pigeon Forge as my last pick. I did. I panicked right before we came on the air, and I wrote down meet Coach's pet bald eagle, maybe hit up the Great Smoky Mountain Murder Mystery Dinner Show, or get hammered and go one of the go-kart tracks. So that's
that's
all I got. Yeah. All right, Casey, it's your last pick here.
My last one, I'm going with Madeira Beach, Florida, just between St. Pete and Clearwater is this little gem because it has this place called the Daiquiri Deck, and the Deck is unbelievable. They make daiquiris.
Oh my God.
The Deck makes daiquiris?
Yeah, thanks, Casey.
Yeah. And you can get them like mixed, and you can get different colors. Oh, it's stimulating.
Sounds delightful.
You sound like the biggest bunch of losers in the world right now, by the way.
Oh my God.
I mean, that's not far off.
Yeah, that's true. Kind of on brand. All right, MBG, it's your last pick here.
All right. So my last pick, I can't believe no one picked this. One of my favorite cities, San Diego. Can't beat the weather. Plenty to do. I love San Diego. We're right close to Tijuana, just, in case. I like it. San Diego, number 4.
I like it.
Seriously?
It's
I'm
great.
dying for these ads.
The best.
Yeah. I like it.
I mean,
Oh, man. All right. Courtney, you want to wrap this one up?
Yeah, I'm
with
going
a
to wrap
boat.
it up. Okay, I am going to say one of my favorite places to go is Seaside,
Knoxville.
38, Rosemary Beach, that area, Destin, all of that. So that's my 4th.
I thought you were going to say Seaside Heights, which is like where Jersey Shore was filmed and stuff.
No, nope. That was
How's
not what I was
Courtney
gonna say.
doing? I don't think she would enjoy that.
Nope.
No fist pumping.
Nope.
No
That's
watching
what-
the tram car.
From our friend FSU 2 times, note to self: do not plan a vacation with any of the MBG crew.
Hello, me.
That's a good call, FSU 2-time. That's a good call.
I mean, Muncie is beautiful this time of year. That's all
Yeah.
I'll say.
That might win it for you, Casey.
I think so. I know I have one vote.
I mean, that's better than MBG that did that one week when I got 0% of the vote. So, all right. I love these random drafts. They are just ridiculous. But that brings us to our next segment, Genius of the Week. As always, each of us is going to nominate player, coach, team, conference, someone who did something particularly dumb in the last week. Put it to a Twitter vote and see who wins. For our last vote, Casey's nominee, Shedeur Sanders, won with 39% of the vote, followed by Courtney's nominee, Iran, which I don't know why. That is hilarious to me, with 35%. So it was a close one. MBG's nominee, World's Best Farter, came in third with 22% of the vote.
Wow.
And my nominee, Cowboy Cody, somehow only got 4%. Boo. So now I'm in the lead with 44 wins, followed by Casey with 25, Courtney with 12, MBG with 1. So Casey, pick it off again.
Did you
You're
just
getting a
do
lot
a
of Muncie
Zerbert,
comments, by the way.
thing? Did you just do a Zerbert, like a little thing with your lips, MBG?
Yeah.
Can't see you this week. Anyway, this week, my genius of the week is Angel Campos, the home plate umpire for the College World Series Game 2 between Coastal Carolina and LSU, a game that LSU ultimately won to sweep the championship series between the two schools. In the very first inning, a Coastal player successfully stole second, a seemingly innocuous play. I literally have no idea what that word means, but Fast Chad told me to get that one in somewhere tonight, so there it is. The pitch that Sebastian Alexander stole on was up and in on the Coastal batter, but once Campos showed the count as 0-1, Coastal Carolina coach Kevin Schnall came to the top of the steps, likely to question either the count or the call of the strike. Next thing you know, Schnall is putting up 3 fingers, and later we saw he said, "You've missed 3 pitches." And so Campos then sent Schnall for an early shower, throwing the Coastal coach out of the championship game after a half inning of play in the fucking national championship game. Unrelated, but kind of related, Campos also threw out Clemson star center fielder Cam Cannarella 2 years ago in the regional in the 13th inning against Tennessee. If only he was the ump that gave Tennessee the win on the phantom check swing call last year against Florida State. He might have been, but no one has said that on Twitter, so I'm recklessly speculating right now. So for having the spine of something really spineless, because I couldn't think of anything, only worse, and helping SEC teams ultimately win baseball championships, Angel Campos is my genius of the week. Suck it, SEC fan.
Wow.
It took a turn.
Speaking of which, I currently have SEC fans crashing out in my mentions because I posted something, a complete joke about, the ACC having the number 1 pick in the NFL draft and the NBA draft, and said something like "suck it, SEC." And yeah, there's so many people mad right now. So
that's where I got it from.
Okay.
Is there a more sensitive bunch than SEC fans? Good gracious. That's a sensitive crew, man.
Not fans of like
our co-host.
Hey,
I mean,
I'm here.
It was a question. I was just asking.
We have cameras off tonight, so we can't see her. She's probably like, she's probably so close to the screen right now.
You know me so well.
In the camera.
Okay.
All right, Courtney, who are you going with?
Well, I have to go with Thomas Castellanos, right? Everybody, including Jesus himself, knows in an interview he said they don't have Nick Saban to save them. I just don't see them stopping me. And I'm not even saying he's not a good quarterback, but didn't he get benched by Bill O'Brien? I mean, fucking yikes. That's my not favorite person. Y'all know that. But this reminds me of that Vandy player a couple years ago that was talking shit in the camera, and he was like, "Alabama, you're next," and then they proceeded to get curb stomped like 59-0. And I believe he even said, Tommy Boy, that's what I'm gonna call him, said that he dreamed of playing against Bama. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but aren't nightmares also dreams? I'm just saying. But also, I want to point out the FSU fans still hadn't eaten the dog shit. So that's their number 1 problem. Not if anybody can stop Thomas.
Castellanos wasn't great last year. I mean, he had 3 turnovers, including a fumble that got returned for a touchdown against us, and we beat them by 2 scores. So, I mean, then our defense we had a ton of injuries last year. So I don't know that I'd be talking shit to Bama if I were him, but he seems to be pretty excited about this season.
I mean, devil's advocate here. How's everybody doing tonight? What's he supposed to say?
I mean,
nothing,
right?
I mean, there's. So
I know he went off, but I like the confidence. But when you're asked a question, you're kind of it's leading anyway, and obviously these kids are confident, right? I mean, he trolled everybody. He's like, basically, I took the ACC by storm last year. And I mean, yes, he took it too far, but I'm all right with it. I hope we beat the brakes off of them, but still.
I tweeted out some FSU fan reactions. I don't know if you guys saw that. There's a couple of them that cracked me up. The first one specifically, I don't know why it cracked me up so much, but there was a post that said, "WTF are you doing, Tommy?" And then there was one that said, "We may lose by 30. Another guy, he said, "Why, God, why?" And then another guy said, "Easy to see why he was benched at Boston College. Kid was an absolute idiot. He better back up his words." So I'm not sure that the Florida State fans are all too thrilled about the statements either.
John did bring up a good point. They do have Gus Malzahn as the offensive coordinator this year. All right.
Think about
Our
that.
silence is deafening.
she's terrified, obviously, of Gus. All right, MBG. What do you got this week?
This week I got a fine young gentleman out of Florida by the name of Patrick Francis Mitchell. He's 7 years old. Apparently, he decided to go do some shopping at a Sam's Club the other day, and there was another shopper that caught some of his shenanigans on a cell phone and took and showed it to the staff there. And so they pulled the camera, and it said the store CCTV captured footage of the alleged incident. The legal documents stated that Mitchell allegedly walked up to 2 pallets, faced the shelf, placed both hands in front of him below the belt line, and stood there for several seconds, doing what the documents said appeared to be behavior consistent with urination. Footage also showed Mitchell allegedly walking around the snack section of the store and sitting on patio furniture for approximately 10 minutes before paying for his items and leaving. The store manager later confirmed that there was urine on the 2 pallets, which they say contained approximately 188 cans of Vienna sausages and 345 cans of Spam, per the court document. The affidavit added the store employees were forced to throw out the contaminated cans, resulting in a loss of $10,584. And he was charged with criminal mischief. So for ruining $10,000 worth of Vienna sausage and Spam, my man Patrick Francis Mitchell is my genius of the week. I'm not sure why he chose Vienna sausage and Spam. Seems like he could have chosen something else, but whatever. I mean,
how old is this guy?
There's also a Vienna sausage joke in there somewhere. I'm not going to make it. It's too lowbrow for me, but if someone else wants to make it, feel free.
We do like to keep it classy.
Beanie weenies?
Well, I mean, that something like that, I guess, Casey.
I do like this comment by Jerry, though. It says behavior consistent with urination is my new band name. I mean, that is all you legalese people here.
Couldn't you have just sprayed the cans off? Do you really have to throw them out at that point?
Yeah, I mean, who's going to know? I mean, I always assume when you buy a can of stuff, like some animal has probably urinated on it at some point.
Yeah, especially Vienna sausage. I would just guess that cans of Vienna sausage on the inside and outside are disgusting. You know what I mean?
Spam, on the other hand.
Yeah, right. Well, pea's not going to hurt you, I don't think.
Why
all right.
Anyway, go ahead.
I found somebody in the world of sports this week. I've been struggling to do that the last couple of weeks. So this week, my genius of the week is professional darts player and serial farter James Wade. So a year ago, Wade was accused of strategic farting during a match against Callan Rydz at the Players' Championship in the UK. Wade, however, denied those allegations on social media, writing, quote, this is a direct quote, "I feel I must address a situation following my run to the semifinals. Footage has emerged of me doing what appears to be a shart at the end of one of my matches. It was actually the Velcro on my new trainers. I now consider this matter put to bed, and I do not wish to talk about it again." So fast forward to last week, Wade was embroiled in yet another fartroversy at the very same tournament. This time, Wade dropped ass on live TV just before his opponent, Peter Wright, was about to throw. Wright was initially confused by the sound, stepping back and appearing puzzled before realizing what it was, and this is directly from the article, quickly walking away. Wade didn't utter any denials this time, proclaiming that, quote, "it slipped out," and asking Wright to, quote, "just give it a second." A rattled Wright eventually returned to the match, but went on to lose to Wade 6-5. So for using his sharts and darts technique to get in his opponent's head, James Wade is my genius of the week.
I did like the Velcro excuse. That's a good one.
Yeah, right.
I've never considered using that. That's good.
Right. It wasn't the shart. It was the Velcro on my shoes. Yeah,
do they have
stuff.
Dart juice? That's back-to-back weeks of farters.
Hey,
I mean,
nothing better
again,
than a fart joke.
we're very highbrow here, Casey.
That's true.
Sharding, peeing, we cover the gamut. All right, MBG, got some posts for us this week?
I do, of course. And my first one, Courtney, this might wake Courtney up because I think she might be asleep.
No, I'm here.
You good?
I'm good.
This is from an Auburn board, Courtney.
I'm ready.
So listen to it. Apparently, Auburn fans have been focused on the amount of golf that Hugh Freeze has been playing. They think he should be out working, not golfing. Apparently, he's been golfing a lot. And this poster, old Johnny Barn, he decided to do some research to find out just how much golfing Hugh Freeze has been doing. So Johnny Barn says, I play a lot of golf, probably too much, and I do not want this to come across the wrong way, but I have had enough. Had some friends who play in Auburn tell me how much Coach Hugh Freeze plays, and it has led me to check his GHIN. Anybody here know what a GHIN is?
No clue.
Well, apparently it's some database that the USGA has where you can check.
Yeah,
on
tracks handicaps, I think.
I know the N is number.
Oh, good, Casey. Good. So apparently there's a database so you can check and see how much someone golfs. And so Johnny Barn gave it a look. He says, you played golf 10 of the first 20 days this month. I know people that are retired that don't get to play that much, let alone making $7 million a year. Not blaming our struggles on this, but goodness, when you're under 500 here and ranked 47th in recruiting, I have concerns. Also know for a fact he played the day after we lost to Vanderbilt. I understand that it's insane behavior for me to have dove into this, and I do not care. When I have friends tell me he is at the course every day as an SEC head football coach, I'm going to investigate. Just pretend like you're working harder than you actually are, because I'm tired of losing. Edit, if he starts winning, let him play every day of the week.
The edit's the best part, right?
That took a turn
It's
too.
my favorite part. But I mean, shouldn't you worry less about Hugh Freeze and his golfing habits and just more about his recruiting? Like, because that's what's concerning me. I mean, I'm loving it, but if I was an Auburn fan, if I was putting myself in an Auburn fan's shoes, I'd be like, okay. I mean, if he was still recruiting good, I wouldn't mind what the hell he was doing, right?
Well, hey, my first thought was, if that's the worst thing Hugh Freeze is doing,
No shit.
everything is all right.
Hey, he doesn't have any burner phones or anything. I mean,
yeah, I mean, this hobby does probably take a lot more time than his other hobby. So that's the only issue, right? It's going to cut into recruiting more.
yeah. Maybe he would be getting better recruits if he was.
Is that what they're calling it?
Lookers.
Okay,
I like the idea of this. Go ahead, MEG.
I was just going to say that is an insane amount of golf to play
It is.
for a man of the job.
Yeah.
I do like the idea that this is the new plane tracking, though, right? Where people are pissed off at their coach, not recruiting well enough, like going in and investigating how much golf they're playing.
That's
It
next
is.
level.
Yeah, there was a good comment from a Georgia fan on here who wrote, talking about how much golf he's playing. He said, this is actually diabolical. If my coach is ever a single-digit handicap, he ain't recruiting enough. So
Was that NASCAR dog?
Right.
Well, I mean, after what they did to Brian Harsin, like I say, this is still some pretty innocent behavior by Auburn fans.
That's true.
For the most part.
Pretty tame.
All right. We talked about Auburn, so I feel like we got to talk about Alabama just to even things out. Just to show we're unbiased here
That's a good one.
on the MBG podcast. So this is a post from an Alabama board from a fellow named Stephen M99. Apparently there was a recruit that was who's been deciding between Georgia and Alabama. I'm not sure which one, but I don't think that really matters for the point of the post. And this guy says, the decision is easy, young man. On one hand, you have Kirby Smart, who has been responsible for the death of at least 2 individuals that we know of. His off-the-field antics and teachings have led to an absolute disaster of a mindset over there in Athens. That is something that Kirby will have to live with for the rest of his life, despite the wins, the trophies, the money, the wife, the fame. On the other hand, you have Kalen DeBoer, a good Christian man who fought like hell to get where he's at today, a soft-spoken, silent assassin, a man that will shake your hand but turn around when you are not looking and kill you, Kill Bill style.
Wow.
A man that will fight for his team and players, but only when necessary, as it should be. A man that would give anything to his daughters, as it should be. LOL, the choice is easy. It's Kalen DeBoer, and the Tide.
This guy should be a recruiting coordinator.
I mean, I'm a little confused at the Kirby paragraph. I didn't realize that Kirby was a murderer. Do one of you guys have the facts on that?
No, there's no facts on that.
Does he have Kirby confused with maybe Brian Kelly, or?
I think it was about the car driving incidents that he's probably referring to, but he wasn't behind the wheel.
I mean, doesn't this description of DeBoer sound way worse? Like
That's-
so we turn around and then murder you.
That's what I was just going to say.
Like,
Yeah.
that seems a little worse to me. I don't know.
He's so much better. He hasn't killed anybody yet, but he will.
He will.
would. With
As soon as
the
your back is
opportunity.
turned. Right.
Kirby's
He'll
had the
kill you.
opportunity and he did it.
He'll kill you when
Our
you
coach
turn
will.
your back. And he'll do anything for his daughters. So
That
There
was
you
a
go.
weird thing to put like back to
The whole
back
thing is
sentences,
weird,
I thought.
Yeah, I don't know. Steven, I don't know, man.
I think Chat GPT wrote that thing.
yeah, no, I don't think so. It doesn't hang together logically as well as a Chat GPT post would, to be honest. I think Steven could have used outlining this first before he dove right into it here.
Little brainstorm action.
Right. Yeah, take Kellen DeBoer. He's a good Christian man who will kill you with his bare hands.
My thing on this, who did Kirby kill?
Well, where were you 2 minutes ago, Courtney? I asked that question.
She's
I don't
got some things. She's got
He
some
fell
things.
asleep.
I did.
It's almost her
It's
birthday.
past my bedtime, y'all. I'm Meemaw.
Almost your birthday.
It is almost my birthday. I may be drinking White Claws. But if anything, he's guilty of his players driving fast. Not
I think that's where they're going with this.
Yeah.
Is that where they're going with
I
that?
think so. Yeah. But I
Courtney,
don't know.
this isn't helping the people calling you Meemaw, by the way, when we talked about this.
I really do
literally
have
2
a
minutes
I'm telling
ago.
you, I have the worst memory. Like my mom will call me like 5 times in a row and be like, "Hey, you got to do this today. You got to do this today." I'm like, "Gosh, I'm not that old. Like you don't have to keep reminding me." My mom, that's like a senior citizen, is reminding me of things because I'm so forgetful.
I have this image, like where we can't see you, this image of where you feel like you want to say something, so you have to hurry and grab your dentures and put them in
Yeah.
before you can. I don't know if that's what's happening, but that's
I do
just
wanna say, though,
the
I
image
would-
in my head.
I would like to see a little bit more cussing from Kalen DeBoer. I need that. I need that this year.
You did shame him into wearing a quarter zip last year, right?
I did.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Yeah, that happened. I'm not sad. I'm not mad about that. Sometimes a little tough love.
That's it.
Yeah.
I like it.
All right. Next post. This is actually from a Utah fan.
Yes.
And I don't know if you all saw, we don't do Utah posts very often, but a 5-star quarterback, I think he was the 4th ranked quarterback in the country, committed to BYU, who obviously is Utah's primary rival, committed to BYU this week. And that really upset Utah fans and Oregon fans as well. But this is a Utah post. This fellow, Buck Ute, he says, And the powers that be in the Big Ten and SEC are not going to want BYU to come in and outspend them. So this seems like a long-term bad move unless BYU is already admitting that they have no shot at the Power 2. So I guess he's saying that teams in the SEC and Big Ten are going to want to invite BYU now that they recruited a 5-star quarterback.
Yeah, that was the reason.
So better long-term for BYU to kind of play possum here in recruiting, I guess.
Yeah, to be poor and recruit poorly. Right, exactly.
That'll get the invite. Yeah. If you just suck more, you'll definitely get the invite to the SEC.
What?
Courtney. So I hope this is a recurring bit where Courtney just realizes what we're talking about like 30 seconds. Oh, man. MVG, did you see this guy's follow-up post to this? It was arguably more unhinged than this one.
I didn't see
Yeah.
it.
Said,
You have it?
yeah, he said, even if BYU puts it all together and wins another national championship, that won't make the Big Ten or SEC want them. Like, that is the worst cope I've ever heard in my life, right? Like, I'm pretty sure if they win a national championship, they're going to be okay. They're not going to be that worried about the Big Ten or the SEC. So I'm not sure. It's like this guy's just digging a bigger hole for himself.
I just want to point out that Emily Taylor just said corny down in the chat. And pretty sure she was talking about your coach, Casey Dabo.
What do you do?
I don't know. I'm just trying to talk shit
I
back.
mean, he's definitely
He's just lashing out.
I am just lashing out.
Did I say something mean about? See, my memory is just like Courtney's. I didn't mean it.
No,
No,
that
yours
was
is
unsolicited.
Selective.
It is selective. That's true. I'm a man.
It is surprising how infrequently we have Utah on here, though, given how some of their fans act on Twitter, because they're a little unhinged.
Well, if the only thing that really upsets them is if BYU is successful. If BYU is successful, you will see Utah fans completely unhinged. And
Oh, is that what sets them off?
more than anything, I mean, it's kind of the Ohio State Michigan thing where I almost think that they would rather that the rival was terrible than they win. Like,
Right.
I think Utah would be fine with a mediocre season if that meant that BYU had a bad season. So, I mean, BYU was pretty successful last year in the Big 12, and they're recruiting well, both in football and basketball. Utah, I think, only won 2 Big 12 games last year. So they're really positioning themselves for the Big 10 and the SEC. They're doing it the right way by not recruiting well and not winning.
Somebody actually, I just saw this comment. Somebody said Utah's poor recruiting is actually a sleeper cell, persuading the Big Ten or SEC to invite them to be their league's next doormat. So maybe they are playing, 3D chess here, MBG.
I mean, that could be the only reason.
Right.
Only reason. So if they lose to BYU again this year, I anticipate seeing many, many Utah posts in shows over the season, which will be fun. And vice versa. All right. We're going to go back to baseball one last time.
MBG's favorite.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is a post by a guy I think we've had on here before. His name is Rohan Gravy. That seems familiar to me.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
And he says, how do baseball players do the high five after the game? How do they line up in a circle and make sure they dap each other? It seems like this takes a lot of coaching and practice that they could spend on batting practice or something.
I think he's referring to like a circle jerk or something.
You need coaching
Weird.
for that?
Yeah, I don't know what he's asking, Karen.
I don't know what he's asking either. I'm uncomfortable.
I was hoping one of you baseball fans knew. I thought maybe LSU had some big elaborate high five display that they did before.
No, I mean, most teams do that, right? I mean, I don't know if LSU does something different, but they usually just kind of go through and dap each other up. Maybe they do something fancy, but
They get in the line. Basically, all the bench players come out of the dugout, and all the players in the field and the bullpen kind of come the other way. They dap, and then they turn around make sure they get everybody, and then hang out.
There's no like real sophisticated choreography or anything in there. I mean,
Choreography.
But I mean, like, even if there was, LSU just won a title, right? Like, that's kind of stuff. Like, that seems awesome when you're winning, right? And then when you start losing is when it's weird.
Oh yeah,
It's like
you can do anything you want when you're winning.
Yeah. It's like that scene in Step Brothers when they're in tuxedos and they're interviewing with Seth Rogen, like that manager guy. And then, he's like vibing with him and everything. And then Dale farts and he says, okay, now the tuxedos seem kind of fucked up. It's like that, right? Like those handshakes and everything are fine if you're winning. And if you lose, it just seems messed up.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, I obviously don't watch. I just assumed they were out there like the Savannah Bananas or something, doing some sort of crazy dance or something. I don't know.
That or a circle jerk, one or the other.
That or circle jerk, one of the two.
It's a fine line.
I really hope it's not a fine line.
NBG would know. He doesn't watch baseball.
Yeah, no, I'm too busy. I got way too many things going on. Way too many.
Rating vacation spots, got all kinds of stuff.
Like what? I want to know. Like what?
Casey, we'll talk after. I'll send you I'll have my assistant send over my calendar. You can look at it.
Sounds good.
Pencil you in a time.
All right, last post. This post I didn't necessarily think was funny or anything, but I'm curious as your thoughts on this because I thought it was a bit odd. This is from a Penn State board, and it says, I don't even know what solicited this response, to be honest with you. It said, if I had a choice that I had to eat at any fast food restaurant chain, I would choose Arby's. Their sandwiches are good and the curly fries. So if you guys had to eat at one restaurant chain, would you choose Arby's?
Well,
when you sent this over, I nearly vomited on the spot.
Like, how far down your list would Arby's be?
We could do a draft of fast food restaurants that we would pick to eat at before Arby's and probably go 4 rounds deep.
Fast food.
100%.
Fast food restaurant, yes.
Right.
But I have to tell y'all, this is not a Penn State fan. No way. No, it's a Bama fan. Because every time we lose, they say, oh, well, got to go to Arby's. In basketball? Absolutely.
Really?
Definitely a Bama fan. Posing as a Penn State fan, 100%.
I've been buying many in Arby's and never
That's the only people that would pick Arby's.
I don't know. There were a lot of Penn State fans, like a disturbing number, defending this take. So
Really?
Yeah.
I knew
Is
there
that
were
like,
people.
I mean, I knew
My
Casey.
coworker,
Oh,
my coworker is a Penn State fan, and he's terrible, so he would probably agree.
ask him. Casey,
I'm gonna text him right now.
I've never been to Pennsylvania, but is that like a thing up there, like Arby's?
No, it's not.
Yeah, I think it's the same everywhere. Like, I don't know anyone who like says like the idea that this guy was sitting around and just out of nowhere said, you know what, I got to go tell the board how much I fucking love Arby's.
Okay, so I'm going to send him a text, and I said, do you think Arby's is a great fast food place? And I say he's terrible. He's not terrible. He's like my best friend. So that's why I can say he's terrible.
So I will say this. If you go, I don't know if you guys knew this, but Arby's has an off-menu item.
Yes.
And it's called the Meat Mountain. And it's legit every meat they have in the restaurant piled in between 2 buns. It looks like it's like a foot tall.
Yep.
And it looks absolutely terrible.
I had this in my notes. It has 8 different meats on it.
Casey, Google Meat Mountain and get a picture of that thing.
Guys, I just want to let you know. He texted back and said, I like Arby's. Can't eat a double stack roast beef sandwich.
Okay. I will say that Arby's sauce is wonderful.
Yes, elite.
Yes, if you could just get some sauce and go put it on something else that's not an Arby's.
No, I've done it. I've done it before. Yeah.
I actually
Casey, You find that meat mountain? There we
Oh
go.
my
Look at
God.
that thing.
That is horrifying. I started sweating just looking at that.
There's
Okay,
not
that's-
enough Arby's
You
sauce
sweat.
for that.
I love that there's like some kind of fried chicken on the bottom of it.
That's like a souped up picture, like a picture that they put on the ad. Like that's not what it looks like in real life.
I can't imagine what it would look like.
In real life, it looks much worse than that. And that still looks bad.
I just love the idea that they have a secret menu because I saw that same thing in BG. I was cracking up.
Arby's
also-
sauce is like barbecue sauce, literally like a.
If you eat that whole thing, I bet you
vinegar-based
die.
barbecue sauce.
Oh, you're at least in the hospital.
You
Yeah.
have to sign a waiver for that thing.
That one little tiny piece of cheese peeking out from like 3 pounds of meat.
Yeah. Why is that cheese even in there?
Yeah, I mean that's doing nothing. That cheese is lost.
Hey, look down a little bit. There's a piece of white cheese too. There's some Swiss in there.
Yeah, but look at it. It's like a tiny little corner of cheese just begging to get out of that mountain of meat.
Oh, gosh. We'll do a taste test next week.
By the way,
I want someone to order that.
I found a Reddit page where people were talking about Arby's and discussing why they get so much hate. And somebody called Arby's the Nickelback of fast food, and I don't know why. That just slayed me for some reason.
That is amazing.
I know they did a thing on The Simpsons too that was like where Ralphie said, "Tastes like burning." Arby's, and that's
I love
exactly
posts like
right.
that.
Oh, that was good. You thought it wasn't funny, MBG? See that?
I love
Well, I mean, Penn State fans. I mean, I guess if you like it, eat it. Go get yourself a meat mountain.
it. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know about where you guys live, but I don't even know where an Arby's is.
I don't either. We have.
I
them.
definitely have an Arby's within like 20 minutes of me, I think.
Hmm.
It's like Checkers. Like, it takes a special soul to know where a Checkers is.
Well, I'm gonna be on the
talk,
lookout.
everybody.
I don't
That's
think-
exactly the tier I would put them on the Checkers tier.
Oh, Checkers slays compared to, did I use that word right, kids? Compared to Arby's. And their fries are comparable. I said it.
Huh, all right,
I just
I'll
leaned
take
back
your
in my
word for
chair
it.
too. You would have laughed.
We have an Arby's 5 miles from here, apparently.
Uh-oh,
you.
here we go.
Look at you, head over for that meat mountain.
Emily Taylor. My cousin-in-law is a manager at Arby's, and now I have a conversation starter next time we hang out. Yeah, you do.
Heck yeah.
And,
Emily, go get yourself a meat mountain. Everybody,
You need a
go
meat
get a meat
mountain.
Oh
mountain.
my God.
I'm gonna reach out to Arby's and see about some sponsors here.
Yeah, I think after this episode we may get the sponsorship.
Listen, I am dying for MBG. I'm bummed you're married because I would love for you to go ask some young lady if she wanted to come over for a meat mountain sometime.
I needed that line about 30 years ago. I would have killed, man. Would have killed.
I just want to let y'all know before we end this that it just started pouring down rain here. And y'all know how much I love that shit. It's rained every day. It's like, what, the 40 days, 40 nights? I feel like it's that. And I'm going to go fucking crazy.
Well, go get yourself a meat mountain in the rain.
Meat Mountain would solve all my problems right now, probably.
It would, no doubt.
It
about it. I don't know if we're talking about the same thing, Courtney. But I'm just going to pretend. Look, I'm going to pretend like we are. All right.
Oh God.
Oh man.
That's all I got, guys.
Same.
All right. That'll do it for this week's episode, the MBG podcast. Don't forget to subscribe, leave us a review. You can check out more content at messageboardgeniuses.com. And we'll see you next time, losers.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks.
Are you done? Did you take it off?
No.